Tell me about you, Stani. What is your single biggest challenge right now? I know you said you're building out the offices in London, New York, maybe Asia, but like, what's your biggest challenge?
I would say biggest challenge is like kind of like as Aave is growing, like how we ensure that we continue building things in a very decentralized fashion, in a way that how we can add more transparency on what we're doing, how we can actually build things in a way that we can experiment more. So we don't need to build full protocols anymore, like how we can just build one small building block and let the rest of the community to build the ecosystem and manage the community and everything. Like how we can go forward from here, being something like Google, doing it very transparently and just experimenting things and letting the community actually build the other important parts and leaving a lot of space for the community. And it's not an easy thing to do when we scale. And especially kind of like we used to be 15 team members a year ago. And now we're more than 70, and we probably will be close to 100 by end of this year. So it's definitely like a challenge as we grow as an organization.
What was your worst day at Aave/ETHLend in the last 4 years?
I think when the market crashed and there was a lot of liquidations and like kind of worrying like how all these protocols and DeFi will, how the resilience will work. But end of the day, it worked pretty well. I mean, I was up until I remember I flew into Helsinki, Finland to meet my family. And, I just saw like Ethereum going down in price and all the assets. And I was just like, kind of like thinking what's going on. And I think we were up until like 6 a.m. or something before I went to sleep for an hour and wake up again. And so those were one of the crazy days. I think that was like kind of like a tough day for me personally. But I see that the technology worked, all these protocols survived and they're resilient for that big market movements. And crypto is the most volatile asset out there, so asset kind of like class. So I'm pretty happy now.
So Black Thursday, March 12th last year, what is your job as the CEO of Aave on a day like that? What can you do?
You can't do anything. You can just look how, like whatever you design and build with your team and with the rest of the community, how it plays out. Like you can't do anything end of the day. And you can just watch the liquidators kind of like biting those collateral positions and keeping the market solvent. You can just like, it's kind of like watching some sort of like a I don't know, like a horror movie.
that's already been like with its own smart contracts, right?
Yeah,
so you
exactly.
just have to watch it and hope it works out the way you designed it to.
Exactly.
In some ways, it seems like you might have to turn into more of a politician in times like that. It seems like that would be a great time for you to be live, on a program like this and just say, look, this is happening. This is what we built. We believe in these. This is an important stress test for the market in the long run. And I advise everyone to remain calm, right? Because that's probably what you wanted to tell people, right? Is that like part of, you think, a leader's job in this space? Or do you just kind of have to let the market do its thing?
Yeah, it's kind of letting the market and letting the community do its thing, because you don't want to be like in the kind of like community as a big voice anyways, because you want to keep building things and let the kind of like more governing actors to govern the protocol be more vocal. I mean, people are active, of course. I mean, it's something that you're build, but essentially what you want to do is kind of like focus on building, and part of the leadership is just like how you can get more talent into the space, at least like for me personally. How do you build safe things, high quality protocols, and then just like get more like people who are interested in governance to govern those protocols end of the day, because that's decentralization is all about. People don't care about listening to me or Vitalik talking, or people do care, but the sake of decentralization, people care about like what is the consensus and what the consensus says. And that's why decentralization is very nice.